Hi, everybody. Okay, don't get distracted by the shirt, even though you probably should take a look at it because it's like one of my favorite shirts now. Babysitters Club, Christie's Big Idea, Christie's Great Idea, and M. Martin. Um, the first ever issue of the Babysitters Club book in the series. This is a shirt that was given to me by my husband and my daughter from a company called Out of Print, and they specialize in looking at like old school books and really popular and really kind of fun, trendy literature based items. And they go to Comic Cons. Like we saw them at Comic Con, and they got this shirt for me. And I love the Babysitters Club growing up. That was one of my favorite series ever. But that's not what I'm talking about today. But I wanted to share my shirt because I love this shirt. So, hi, everybody. Welcome to Talking Books with Tanisha. I'm Tanisha. I'm really excited to be able to be with you here this season. I'm talking about some of this beautiful books that I've discovered um, and books that I want to share with you. So, let's just jump into it. You can't see the full title behind me. Um, but the name of the book we're talking about today is called Reel, Reel, like a movie reel. And this is a book, and I want to say, I was looking for this author specifically because I really liked the other books that she wrote. Kennedy Ryan is who we're talking about, and you'll remember that I read a couple of her books and shared them too. Before I Let Go, Can't Get Enough, um, and I really just enjoyed the way she told that Skyland series because it was focused on the three best Black women friends and their journeys and excitement. But I was like, I know that she has other books. She has so many books, and I just haven't had a chance really to, when I go to a bookstore, I don't always see a lot of her books available. I was in a bookstore and I was like, let me see if they have any Kennedy Ryan. And this book was on the shelf. And I have to tell you honestly, because for me, I'm a very visual person and I look at a cover and I'm like, okay, maybe I want to get into it, maybe I don't. The cover really is an entry point for me. And I want to say right now, you're not going to be able to tell what this book is about by looking at the cover. So if you're one of those people that really relies on a cover to tell you what you're if you're interested or not, you're not going to be able to do that with this book. This is a book that you're really going to have to get in and read. This is a hefty book, y'all. Look at that. Can you see how thick those are? There we go. You can kind of see like how thick this is. There are how many pages are here? 470 pages in this book, and I read it quickly. Like this is one of the fastest books I've read in a while. And it was worth every last page. I finished it last night. And I didn't want to stop. Like it was one of those books that every time I stopped at a chapter, I wanted to keep going. There were many nights I went to bed, like my eyes kind of drooping closed because I wanted to keep finishing what was going to happen. This is a beautiful book. One thing I've learned about Kennedy Ryan, and I'm not sure about some of her older stories. I've read more of her kind of more current books, but she has a way of like showcasing really strong Black women and telling their stories with care and grace and love that just makes you like fall in love with all of her characters. She did it with Yasmin. She did it with now I'm forgetting the characters' names. But the characters and the other Skyland story, Skyland series, like she did with all of them. Soledad, um, and just like, she had a way of kind of caring for your characters. So Real is focusing on Neevah Saint. Neevah Saint is an actress. She is an actress who has been doing understudy work on Broadway. So she has made it to Broadway. She's doing understudy work. For those of you who know about that, it means like you're basically waiting for the lead character. If something happens, they get sick or they have to travel or they can't be there for some reason. Your job is to take over for their role. So she's been really good at like her standby. Like she's a understudy. Um, and in her understudy role, um, she's like, is really thankful. She's also done a little bit of commercial work, but nothing big, nothing huge, right? So the character, the main character in the play that she is an understudy for goes on vacation, which is a much well-deserved vacation, which gives Neva a week to show off her skills and kind of take center stage. And as she takes center stage, she kind of takes the show over. And there happened to be the right people in the audience to see that night. And one of those people is a really famous director. And he has a whole story all by himself about like, what brought him to that point of being a director, his association with film, like who he is and how he's like, close off his heart to a certain degree. And Neva, has also been hurt. Like she's closed off her heart because, she was betrayed by people that loved her. Um, and so he comes and he happens to see her. And he is in the middle of making this movie, like a big blockbuster movie, focused on a woman that he read a plaque. He was traveling in the South, saw a plaque on the side of the road. Her name was Desi Blue, and she was a blues player, a blues singer, jazz singer, back in the 40s. And her story had not ever made it to the big screen or made it anywhere. People really didn't know her story. And he felt it was his obligation to tell her story. And her story is symbolic of the stories that many of the Black and Renaissance era artists had to do, where it's basically is flee the South during that time, during Jim Crow South, and go to Europe and kind of experience what it meant to be a successful artist in a different country where people judged you not because of your skin, but judged you based on your talent and your gifts. And so we're gonna learn a little bit about Desi Blue's character, but Neva is going to be chosen to portray this beautiful character on screen. And that's just the beginning. I'm not even going into any of spoiling anything because there's a whole journey that's to be taken that we get a chance to explore what it means to go from being an understudy to being like the center of like a big, huge biopic film that people don't even know who you are yet, but you're in a space that's probably going to promote you and launch you to this huge stardom. And in the middle of all that, we have Canon, who is the director, and we have Neevah, who is the actress, and we have this chemistry that's happening. And this is what Kennedy Ryan does really well. She builds up that chemistry. She makes you want to know what's going to happen. And just when you think that, maybe that shouldn't be happening, things, shouldn't be happening or whatever, she surprises you. It's unpredictable. This is not a book that you can predict what's going to happen. Even if you think you can, the way she tells this love story is just really, really beautiful. It's not a book for kids. I'm just going to say that. She is very, open about how she shares relationships, very sexually forward and positive about how she shares intimacy between her characters. Um, and also she's a really good storyteller. I think I would want to read so many more books from her. I'm actually about to go in and find out other books that are like this or the books that she's written that I can add to my TBR stack because I feel like I have just so much more interest in Kennedy Ryan. Every time I've read something from her, I really have enjoyed it. Real is an amazing book. Those of you who are interested in movie telling and movie making, will love it because there's so many inside little scoops and things that kind of give you how movies are made. She really did her research for this. So we have a chance to go back into the 30s and 40s and kind of learn about this character's life that's based on a bunch of different real people, like Billie Holiday, um, like Lorna, Lena Horne, all these people that were huge back then. But we also have a chance to see right now, what it looks like to be like a center of a Black biopic movie or a movie featuring Black characters, and what that looks like and feels like, and who's willing to invest in that, who's willing to believe in that. And then we get a chance to see Black love, like a relationship that's built on not just like intimacy as far as just like that kind of intimacy, but also like friendship, like really strong Black friendships and really strong Black relationships and really strong Black family and family drama and all these things that just give you lots of different examples of what Blackness looks like. I appreciate that storytelling. This is one I had to tell you about right now because I finished it yesterday. I was like, I have to talk about it. I have to share it with you. I have to make sure that you at least know about it so that you can read it for yourself. Share it with other people. Like always, subscribe, share. The whole point of Talking Books with Tanisha is to get the books out there and get the stories out there. We get to control our own stories, you all. So share them. Make sure people aren't, trying to hide our stories and make them invisible. We have stories to tell, and we have authors that want to tell them for us, and we have people that are willing to read those stories. So thank you for tuning in today. I hope that you're having a beautiful day. If nothing else, read a book, share a book, and listen to a book. Watch a book, whatever you need to do, keep putting knowledge in your head, keep learning about other people, keep learning about yourselves, and keep finding those reflections and opportunities to share our stories. Subscribe, share you all. Thanks so much for tuning in with Talking Books with Tanisha. Have a great day.